All right, we are in Winnebago County with Britain, and it's Rockford area west at the what's this called? The Sugar
River Forest Preserve.
Sugar River. So this is presumably, well, this is the area where Tammy Tracey's body was found. We're going to walk to pretty close to the spot where she was found, and we're going to see if we find anything back there. We brought some electronics, but I think the other thing is we want to talk about this story some more, because this piece of trash, Jesse Smith, who was picked up in Georgia, he's like out on bail. He was on $1 million bail. And then Judge Joseph McGraw, I think his name is, thought it would be a bright idea to reduce his bail to $50,000. So for $5,000, old Jesse's out free. And while he walks free, the case just lumbers along. There is no trial yet that I've heard of. Have you heard of
Nope.
anything?
Continuation after continuation. He was taken into custody November of 2020, released from custody March of 22.
Yeah, so he's free.
Under 24-hour surveillance there, the story says. But
So he's free as a bird, really. He's not in jail. I mean, in jail, you're kind of suffering. I mean, he is presumed innocent, but they got to have DNA on him, right?
yeah.
I mean, it's got to be DNA, because there's no coincidence from 1987, 88, till all of a sudden 2 years ago, it's got to be DNA found, technology catching up.
Yeah, so much has really been undisclosed still up to this point. You have a new sheriff rolls into town, the Rockford police chief named Dan O'Shea. Once he took office in 2016, befriended Linda Tracey, made it one of his top priorities to dig into this case. So it just leads you to believe that the big breakthroughs were made with modern technologies, and DNA is what's catching them nowadays, gang.
Well, once they get this trial going here, I think they're going to probably convict him, because we got a really good prosecutor. Miss Hite Ross, she did we did another case here of the crybaby killer episode I did, and she put that guy away. So anyway, want to get back here and just get the word out about this, because it's just not right that this guy's like free, but also you never know what's going to happen. So we've been to this location a couple of years ago. I came out, Faces of the Forgotten. We did the story of Tammy Tracey. And the real question is, was she killed here? I believe she was probably, my thesis is my theory is she was killed here, because how can you drag a body this far? She was killed by knife and by gun. It was probably sexually motivated. He probably, again, all speculation. The police aren't sharing anything, so we can only speculate. But that she was led out here by gunpoint, possibly, and assaulted and then killed. I think he knew the family. There's some connection to this Jesse Smith with the family, right?
Yep, an acquaintance of the family of both her parents.
Yeah. They always say in a lot of these cases, that's who you look to first, the people you know. So as we approach these little winding bends here to the left, as we keep going, we're heading eastbound now. Well, really southbound. We're turning generally eastbound. The forest does end just beyond those pine trees that you see, that line, that tree line. And there's like a farm field. Now, that's where the aerial pictures were taken, where all the investigators, when they found her, they were all parked out there. It's private land. Now, Jesse Smith could have come from that side. He may not have walked her down this trail. I think he probably did, but there's always that possibility. And in that case, maybe she was dead already. But you have to wonder, good chance she was brought back here and murdered. Does the energies remain? We just never know what we're going to find, but it is an eerie place. And you know, the killer, he had to know, he knew this place. You don't just happen upon coming here. So.
And if she was dead already, that's quite an undertaking to drag a body all the way out here. This is such a dense forest.
Well, you'd have to come down this trail.
Yeah.
And I think this was camping, the side we came from is camping. Campers, but yeah, I see that opening.
Yeah, I see.
That opening out there, just beyond that is where all of this ends. So I think this is generally the area. It's really hard to say.
So now where we parked and started, that's the closest you can actually get a car to this area?
Yeah, to where we're at right now. Okay. Unless you come from the private land out that way. But I don't know if this, let's investigate this trail and see how far it goes. And see, I don't think it comes out the other side, but maybe it does. And then that's the other part of this walk I didn't do before, is let's figure out if, did he come from that side?
Gotcha.
Because I think, why does that matter? Well, really trying to figure out is where Tammy lost her life. Because if she lost her life here, there may be some energies of her spirit. But I mean, in my opinion, if she was dead already, then we're not gonna. We're kind of on a, I don't want to say a wasted mission, but for paranormal. But see, there's a reason to come back here too again. I mean, I don't think this case is getting a lot of attention.
Continuation.
No, this is where it ends. Look at this. Oh no, I thought this was turning in a circle here.
No, it keeps curling around, winding and twisting. You can hear, is that wind or is that the water?
No, that's wind. All right, let's keep going.
We gotta be getting closer. What the Sugar River Forest Preserve makes up 529 acres of what is quoted as pristine ecological sightseeing, very popular with bird watchers.
Well, that's who found her.
Yeah, her body was found by a bird watcher. There was reported to be a clearing here where bird watchers would post up, and from that location,
oh, look at this. Here's a T.
Found her.
So I did not come this far last time. So we have like a T where it's a number 3. Now, that heads north, and that's going to circle back to the park. And I see a house out there.
Yeah, I can see a fence line.
Yeah, so we're at the location. We're at the edge. Now look at this. Here's a trail heading southeast that heads up a hill. Let's see where this goes. Again, we don't know the exact location where her body was found, but I probably just walked right by it. Now, if he came in from this side, through this property, then I'm going to tell you it's probably down in this ravine. Probably in here where she was found. Would you say? I'm trying to speculate.
The bird watcher was reported to be up on an overlook looking down towards the river.
Oh, okay. When he found her?
Yeah.
A river. So we do have a fence line here. Barbed wire.
Horse field out there?
Yeah. Horse country. Like I said, I remember the aerial shot right up here has to be one of these two fields. Either that one or this one. We could look on Google Earth, and this is where all the cars were parked. The police, the investigators. So let's look at here. This trail heads straight southbound. Let's look over here, because again, I'm trying to piece together. So this is the trail the police probably came up into this area right here. And this is where it ends. Okay, right here, this private property.
Got little patches of coniferous forest throughout here. It was weird how we kind of went through that way.
Yeah.
We've got just that little grove of pine trees right
Yeah, that line.
Fire break only.
All right, so this is the private land, and I think it was like right out here where all these cars were. So imagine they were coming back up this way to bring Tammy's remains out where we just came. You know what I think you should do is let's fire up some of the equipment.
Let's go for it.
And let's walk the trail and see if by some chance we pick something up. All right, so Britain has our electro and magnetic. We have both detectors going. You have that in electro mode.
Yeah.
For electrical energy.
Electric field.
Electric fields. And we're just going to walk our way around here and see if we pick anything up. Yeah, Tammy was waxing her car at Searles Park. As I said in my episode, just like a lot of us kids back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s even. I don't think kids do that anymore, and she just disappeared. Her car was there, left there. She may have went with Jesse Smith because she knew him. He may have tricked her into coming with him. Let's backtrack. Let's backtrack where we came in. I mean, it's pretty random, but there's a big ravine there. See if anything goes off.
Lots of twists and turns. We could easily get lost out here. Very serene. May 27th she went missing. Right after Memorial Day.
Right.
Her car all polished up for the summertime. Whole life ahead of her.
Yeah, she was into softball, into golf, very active. Sure had her. Just terrible. All these years, Mom, and again, back to the story in my episode, her mom had these sightings, these feelings of this evil man in her bed, standing over her bed, right before this happened. And then Tammy saw Nightmare on Elm Street. She kind of shook her up. And she was asking her mom about the evil man. And you know what's creepy? The creepy part is, after this happened, well, after Tammy disappeared, the evil man didn't come back in her feelings, in her dreams, in her bedroom. So that is, if that's not paranormal, and I believe that is true. I mean, she wouldn't be lying about that, Tammy's mom.
Absolutely not.
Now we are standing, as we are backtracking, we're on this big ravine here. Big hollow right down here. Something tells me, now I'm not a psychic, I'm not a medium, but we all have our feelings. And something tells me it was down here somewhere. And of course you think, what would you do? And it would be like right over there. You know, it's just a crazy guess, but maybe take a little step there. But we don't know, we just don't know where she was found.
Now, from what the main river is that runs through the entire forest preserve, there are 3 or 4 different tributary rivers that turn into streams that, depending on what time of year, dry up.
Yeah, I wouldn't get fixated on the river. The fact we know is that it was this field where the investigators, everyone piled out of their cars to do all their forensic work here. And that means, I mean, they could have come in from the other side, so it has to be around here. Well, let's walk a little bit farther and see if we pick anything up. If we pick anything up, we'll be back either way. But we're gonna continue our march, and we'll report in.
Rest your soul, Tammy.
All right, gang, we did a lot of searching around. Did not pick anything up. I mean, we don't come here, we're not sensationalizing, we're not making stuff up. So a lot of times we're not going to have anything happen, but hopefully this case goes forward very soon. And Tammy, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Tammy Tracey. You are not forgotten.
See you guys.